Trey Young guarding him, and he was gonna make the layup because he didn't want to get fouled, go to the free throw line. And we all know about his free throw line demons and how he's shooting horribly from the line, and etc. Even though he had a piss poor playoff series overall, where there were games where he took only 4 shots. Now, when it comes to this, the reason they're prompting me to make this video because this guy, ever since he got traded, there's been issues where he's been saying that he's not playing because of an injury. And I looked at it as, okay, how did you get hurt? And they said that he has some type of back issue, back soreness, whatever. No, I was like, that's weird. How do you sustain a back injury where you didn't even play on the court this whole year? You were going through your situation in Philadelphia where you were choosing not to play, and then you were going through your legal battles where you filed a grievance with the NBA saying that you wanted to be paid for this year because you had back soreness, coincidentally after you choose to not play for the team and request to be traded. So after that whole debacle situation, he finally got traded. Him, a few other pieces with Steph Curry, Andre Drummond, draft picks, etc. for James Harden. So I was like, okay, you're on a new team, fresh new start. You could prove them wrong and show that you could be better without them. And I understand Philadelphia fans are harsh. Once you suck, they're gonna let you know it by booing you, home team or not. So I understand that. But now you're in a new opportunity to play with the Brooklyn Nets, etc. And now that you had that opportunity, you started to squander it. Now I understand you were going through your grievance issues with the NBA, with the Philadelphia 76ers, because you were trying to recoup the $20 million that you lost for not playing this whole season. But then the playoffs came and Kevin Durant got hurt. Kyrie Irving was dealing with the vaccination, non-vaccination issues, etc. And then after that, all that got settled, it was still an opportunity for you to come play on a team, get your feet wet, get you playoff ready. You still didn't play. You missed off on the whole season altogether. So then, okay, so maybe he's gonna come in for the play-in tournament. He didn't do that. So then after that, they won the play-in tournament, beating the Cleveland Cavaliers. All right, so they were set. They made the 7th seed, and now they were going to face off against the Boston Celtics in a series that most people, such as I, thought they were going to win in probably 6 games, because I understand that Boston was a tough outing and it wasn't going to be a gimme. Now, I'm thinking, okay, game 1, he's going to come in for the playoffs, and I understand your first game back, coming in the playoffs, that's a tough ask. But still, if you were there for your teammates and wanted to play and really wanted to get out there, you would have found a way to play. After that, he was ruled out for game 1 of the playoffs versus the Boston Celtics. So now people are wondering what's going on. What's the issue with this guy? Why is he not playing? So then rumors were circling around when he's going to play, what's the timetable, and then afterwards, that's around the time that the Brooklyn Nets lost game 1 by a layup by Jason Tatum. And then, okay, so on to game 2, he got scratched for game 2 of the playoffs. So now what's going on? The rumors were sorting out even more that he was angling to return in the playoff series by game 4. Now, at first I thought, okay, maybe the Brooklyn Nets will probably be up 2-3 games and then have this series in the bag, and then they could bring in Ben Simmons, to like fortify the defense. But no, the series turned on its head, and then by the time game 4 was there, the series was 3-0 Boston. And then by the time game 4 came, Ben Simmons was ruled out for game 4 and out for the whole entire playoffs, because we already knew Boston was going to sweep them guys. But I knew the series was over game 2, but again, that's for another video. But again, when I looked at that whole situation with Ben Simmons, Philadelphia getting traded, not playing, filed a grievance, all this let me know that this guy is a selfish player and he's mentally thin-skinned. And he's sensitive as hell. I don't care what was the issue. because by the looks of it, you were healthy and you was able to get out there. Now, before it was saying that he had back soreness, etc., a situation like that. Then it changed over to mental health and how he wasn't mentally healthy enough to get out there. And now I just read today that he was going through an issue where that his mental health was causing back soreness issues as regards to that. Now listen, as a fan, I think mental health is important. I don't want to disparage him as regards to his mental health situation. When it comes to his injury issues, that's where I have a problem with, because you literally didn't play the whole season unless you sustained that back injury during practice. But again, you're not providing us much information on how you sustained that back injury. Now, when it comes to him saying that he sustained a back injury through his mental health situation, he needs to get that checked and he needs to get that figured out, because long term, you can't have a player like him going to battle each and every other night, and we don't know the situation of him mentally. And if you go deep into the trenches with that, which I mean is the playoffs, then that's going to be a whole nother situation, because can I trust this guy to help lead me or lead him to a potential championship run? And me personally, I don't think so. Now, again, I thought Kyrie Irving and Kevin Durant was going to offset that, but they're dealing with their own issues right now as regards to being scrutinized by the media, which is rightfully deserved because of all the shit that they were talking throughout the whole season. Now they have to deal with the repercussions for that. You know, one thing, if they went through the playoffs and won a title, then hey, the victor goes the spoils. But they lost, so now they have to deal with all the backlash and scrutiny that comes with it. As much as I'm not a fan of LeBron James, when he wins, he gets the credit that he deserves. But when he loses, he gets all of the scrutiny. Now, when you're on a superstar level such as Kevin Durant, LeBron James, etc., and you lose, then you deserve all the scrutiny that comes with it. It's part of the game. So Kevin Durant, Kyrie are no different. They formed this team. They did what they had to do. They didn't perform, and it's not like they lost in 6 or lost a close one. They got literally dominated the whole series, and that's what the most disappointing part. But when you add in that Ben Simmons didn't even play or didn't even try to attempt to play, that's what makes it more difficult and disappointing as the whole series went through, because it shows that this guy is mentally weak. He doesn't want to compete. We don't know what's wrong with him upstairs. He could be mentally broken. You could take him out the game, and he's a phenomenal athlete, great skill player, tall guy, great defensive player, a great passer, good rebounder, and everything. But he could be rattled. He's mentally fragile. I heard in his camp that he has a whole bunch of yes men around him. I doubt he has people that's gonna tell him the truth and let him know the real. That's what's going on. So that's another problem that could be. That's a situation that he's probably dealing with. Nobody's gonna tell him the truth because they don't want to get cut off by him. And so he's also signed the clutch court. So Rich Paul is agent. He's always gonna do what's best on his behalf. So we don't know who's around him telling him like, yo, you need to improve your game, you need to do this and that. And he's the type of person, he doesn't improve his game at all. His game is what his game is, and I understand that, but he's not progressing as a player. He's stagnating, and once you stagnate, is sooner or later you're gonna go down because you plateau. So that's the issue with it. I felt like that was a cowardly move. I felt like he was weak. I felt like he left his guys hanging out there to dry. He seen his team was in disarray, and he chose not to play or even not to try to attempt to play with the team. Again, nothing to do with his mental health situation. Mental health is important. He needs to go check that out. But I'd rather he said that I'm out for the whole entire season, playoffs included, than make us go through this whole media rigmarole BS talking about he might come for game 1, he might come for game 4, just for him to opt out and say he's not coming no more. I feel like that was some BS on his part, and whoever his media team is who's putting out some of these stories, because that was a cowardly move. Now, I feel like he could have probably helped make a difference in the series with the Boston Celtics. Would they have won? Who knows? But now we have to look back and think what if. But seeing how the series went between Boston and Brooklyn, maybe he probably would not have made a difference. So, but it doesn't matter now because the season's over and on to the next throughout the playoff series. And I think that as the season progresses with Ben Simmons as an overall player, between playing with Philadelphia and Brooklyn, I think if he continues to have some of these mental health issues or these free throw demons or not playing optimally to the best of his abilities, the Brooklyn Nets should consider trying to maybe trade him to another team because you can't deal with that. You already have a basket case like Kyrie Irving on your team and dealing with his foolishness. And then Kevin Durant, who's a sensitive, thin-skinned player already. So having all three of those guys on a team, that's a recipe for disaster if not controlled under the right coach, because Steve Nash is a horrible coach for that team and he's not a right fit. But again, those are my thoughts on the situation as regards to Ben Simmons and this whole situation. Let me know yours in the comment section down below. This is Ego Speaks out.